Hello everybody, my name is Brandon. Welcome back to the channel. I'm here today with part 1 of a 2-part November 2020 media pickups video. So as you guys all know, last month was insane for deals. It wasn't a Black Friday day. It wasn't even a Black Friday weekend. It was an entire month of Black Friday. And it was incredible if you are a physical media collector like myself. So I decided to break this video down into 2 parts. Today's part is going to be virtually everything that was like Black Friday branded. So most of these items were things I picked up on the week of Black Friday or prior, because Black Friday really went through like the beginning of December. But these are going to be the items that were most closely related to that. In part 2, you're going to see all of my video games and all of the rest of my Blu-rays and 4Ks that I grabbed that were kind of, they may have been Black Friday deals, but not necessarily branded as such, which that's arguable, but it doesn't really matter. I'm breaking it into 2 parts and you guys don't really care why. I only do, but either way. So no video games in this one. This is strictly going to be Blu-ray movies and 4K discs. So but there's so many of them. So I am super excited to share with you guys what I ended up grabbing. And yes, it's true. You may have seen most of these in other Black Friday pickup videos, but hopefully you guys will be interested in my take on them and kind of why I grabbed them and so on and so forth. But all right, guys, so I don't even know how many are here today. There's just so many. So let's not waste any more time at all. Let's dive right in. I only have 4 Blu-rays to talk about, so we'll start with those. And first up is actually a graphic novel that I am currently reading. It is on my December TBR. This is Watchmen. This is the complete HBO limited series. So I have heard excellent things about this. People seem to like this a lot more than the movie that came out years ago. As I've said in the past, I liked the movie. I hadn't read the graphic novel up to that point, but I really enjoyed it. So the goal now is to finish Watchmen. I'm about 7 or 8 issues into the 12-issue run. So I'm going to finish that in the coming week here, and then I'm going to watch this one, hopefully. So hopefully I'll be able to get to this one in January. But I'm not really going to talk prices on these things because I genuinely don't remember what I paid for these. I know it was cheap, and I know I got this one off Amazon. So I want to say it was somewhere around $10, which is a really good deal. So very excited to dive into Watchmen, the complete limited series. And this one originally aired on HBO. So let me know if you guys have seen this because I'm really excited to get to it. Almost everything you're going to see from this video was from Best Buy, and that's where these 3 Blu-rays are from. So first up is Richard Jewell. So this is actually based on a true story, which a lot of people probably know this. Frankly, I don't really know it. All I know is like I think there was a bombing, and then the FBI was quick to pin it on this guy here, who I'm guessing is Richard Jewell, only to come to find out that I don't think he actually did it. So it's kind of like how the public outrage surrounding it after he was, basically proven guilty in the court of public opinion. So I'm super interested to check this one out. This is one that's going right at the top of the list. So cannot wait to check out Richard Jewell, which I grabbed on Blu-ray. And I think all of these Blu-rays were like $6 from Best Buy. Here's one I needed to help complete a collection, or not complete, but just enhance a collection. This is Annabelle Comes Home. So I've seen the first 2 Annabelle movies. The first one, it's fine. It's okay. I think the second one is notably better. And I've heard really bad things about Annabelle Comes Home, but that's okay. I love this Conjuring universe, so I'm really interested to check this one out. So Annabelle Comes Home helps. I think it completes my current Annabelle collection at this point, so that's good. If you guys are watching my channel, I did do a collection pickup for November. I did it separate from my media pickup video this month because I just wanted to share with you guys what I got early. And one of those was Silent Bob from the Jay and Silent Bob reboot. So, of course, I had to grab the film. I've actually not seen this one, but when I saw that it was going on sale for Black Friday, of course I had to grab it because I love the View Askewverse. I love Jay and Silent Bob. Like, I'm a big Kevin Smith fan. This one I've heard really good things about, so I had to have it in my collection. So, Jay and Silent Bob reboot should be a heck of a lot of fun when I get around to it. And that, my friends, is it for the Blu-rays that I grabbed in November. So now let's talk about some 4K discs. And the first 3 I'm going to talk about are actually from Walmart. I only grabbed 3 items from the Walmart Black Friday sale because frankly their Black Friday sale was kind of not very good. That said, I do regret one. I wish I would have grabbed Top Gun on 4K. It was $9.96 and frankly I own Top Gun on Blu-ray and then I bought it on Blu-ray 3D and I still haven't watched it. So I figured you don't need it. You have it in 2 other formats, or you did own it in 2 other formats, but Then I was watching one of my favorite channels, Serial at Midnight, and he was talking about how great the 4K looked, and I'm like, oh, I should have grabbed it on 4K, but I didn't. Instead, I'll show all three of these together. I grabbed the John Wick trilogy, which I have backwards. So John Wick, which I absolutely adore, John Wick Chapter 2, and then John Wick 3, Chapter 3, Parabellum. So you guys know, if you've been following the channel, I did watch John Wick this year, and I was just blown away by it. It is one of the best films I've seen this year. I'm certain it's going to end up on my top 10 video at the end of the year, or, well, the beginning of next year from 2020, because I loved it so much. And if you guys are wondering, obviously John Wick did not release last year, but I always do a top 10 film discoveries video, or now I do a video. Before it was a post on Cinefessions.com, but it will be a video again next year of my 10 favorite things that I discovered in the previous year. So I'm sure John Wick is going to be on that list because it's amazing. And I can only imagine it's going to, like, as good as it looked on Blu-ray, I can only imagine how amazing it's going to look in 4K. So I'll have to watch this one again and then jump into 2 and 3 because I love this series, or I love the first film, so I'm sure I'm going to like this series. So these were all like $8. I know I said I wasn't going to talk price, but if I remember, I'll say it. But these were all like $7.96 from Walmart and their Black Friday sale. So had to upgrade them, even though I do have them on Blu-ray, which I actually bought last Black Friday for like the same price. But 4K for $8, I'm not going to pass it up, for at least for a film franchise that I am starting to really get into. So John Wick 1, 2, and 3, $8 each from Walmart. Okay, I have somewhere around 24, 25 left to talk about, and these were all from Best Buy. To me, Best Buy won the Black Friday this year because there were so many awesome deals on movies that I'd been waiting to pick up. So very excited to dive into this, and I don't know where to start. So let's see. We can actually make this video pretty darn quick because all of these are from the same franchise, I guess. So let's kind of rapid fire through these. So all of the MCU films and all the Star Wars films actually were on sale at Best Buy for Black Friday for $15 each on 4K. So I know that's not super cheap, but for these, it is quite cheap. And I didn't own any because for some reason, I always thought that there was like a big box set that had all the Marvel films in it, but turns out there wasn't. There's an Avengers set that has all 4 Avengers films on 4K, but not the entire MCU. So I had been waiting initially, but then I kind of realized that maybe halfway through the year here and decided, you know what, if there's a favorite that pops up, I'll grab it along the way. Like Black Panther, I ended up grabbing because it was like a steelbook for $10. That wasn't a favorite at the time, but it was so cheap, and for a steelbook, I decided to pick it up. So I did have a few coming into this, but now I have, I'd say, the majority of them. So there's a ton here. So let's kind of talk about it. So first up, Avengers. Absolutely love Avengers. I love all of the MCU. Avengers Age of Ultron, Avengers Infinity War, which I have not seen yet. It's coming up soon, though. And then Avengers Endgame, which is the only one of the Avengers films with the slipcover. I shouldn't even get into the slipcover talk because it bugs me because some of these had the slipcover, some of them didn't. Like all of the other Avengers movies didn't have the slip, but these are really nice slipcovers, so I'd love to have them all, but I don't, and I'm not going to buy them separate. It's a piece of cardboard. It literally means nothing, but if I can get it with the slipcover, I want to have it with the slipcover. But anyway, so those are the first 4, or the 4 Avengers films. Ended up grabbing all of those because I love the movies typically. This one is a Phase 1 favorite, and I know most people hate this movie, and I just don't get it because I love this one. And this was actually only $7.99, so this one wasn't even $15, but The Incredible Hulk. This is one of my favorites from Phase 1. Edward Norton plays a fantastic Banner and Hulk in this, and so I love this. And what I think is most amazing is how well the CGI holds up. Like, you wouldn't think, given its age, that the CGI would hold up, but the last time I watched it, which was, I don't know, maybe a year, 2 years, 3 years ago, it held up. So that was very surprising and very welcoming. So next, we have Captain America, the First Avenger, with its slipcover. Captain America, the Winter Soldier, again with the slip. And then to wrap up, we have Captain America Civil War with the slipcover. So I was initially sticking to just my favorites, but then I had these two because Civil War and Winter Soldier are 2 of my favorites in the MCU. I couldn't not get the first one, especially because it had its slipcover. So I ended up getting this one. And this one was between this and Thor as my least favorite from Phase 1, but that's okay. I now have all 3 of the Captain America films on 4K with their slipcovers, so that's great. Now let's move over to two that I was very excited to add to the collection because I think these are, specifically the second one, is going to probably blow me away with its picture quality. But we have Guardians of the Galaxy, that's the first one, and then Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. So these were like the first ones I bought because I wanted to get these ones on 4K. This and another one I'm going to show in just a second. But I imagine specifically Volume 2 is probably going to look probably the best out of all of these because it looked amazing on Blu-ray. And this is one of my favorites from the MCU. I think Volume 2 is notably better than Volume 1, and I still really like Volume 1. So that tells you something. So Guardians of the Galaxy, Volume 1 and Volume 2. And then we ended up grabbing, it's me. I ended up grabbing Ant-Man and then Ant-Man and the Wasp. And look at that lenticular cover from Ant-Man and the Wasp. And it's really interesting because they actually had a different slipcover for this that was like one of those cardboard ones like I showed, but this was the only one there that had the lenticular. So of course I grabbed the lenticular because it looks amazing. Have not seen Ant-Man and the Wasp, but I do love, oh gosh, I'm forgetting her name. Oh my goodness. Evangeline Lilly. My goodness. I cannot believe I forgot her name. I love her from Lost. So I'm hoping she'll be pretty good in this. And then Ant-Man. I really enjoyed this movie. I don't know that I'd call it a favorite, but I really liked it. And there is that daddy-daughter relationship in there, which you guys know I'm a sucker for. So of course I wanted to give this one another watch. Now, do I have Disney Plus? Of course I do. But I want to see these ones on disc in 4K. And then kind of some random ones here. First, we have Spider-Man Far From Home. I do own the Homecoming, and I actually watched that last month. I loved it, so I had to grab this one because it was cheap. The steelbook for this was pretty cheap also during Black Friday, but I think it's one of the ugliest steelbooks I've ever seen, so did not want the steelbook. Captain Marvel, one I have not seen yet, one I hope to watch this month in order to meet that goal, but yeah, this one looks really good. I've heard kind of mixed things about it, but some people, basically, if you like it, you love it. So I'm hoping I'll love it, especially because I think it takes place in the 90s, which is really my era, given my age. So very excited to watch that one. And then finally, along with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, this was the one that I needed to have because I love this movie so much. And I think it's just going to look amazing. The colors, I cannot wait to watch it with Dolby Vision. I just feel like the colors are going to pop so much. So I'm really excited to watch Thor Ragnarok on 4K. So yeah, I have the vast majority now of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I won't hold them all up again. But so now I need Iron Man 1, 2, and 3, Thor 1 and 2. I think there's a couple random ones in there I need. But yeah, so very few left to go in order to have the complete Marvel Cinematic Universe on 4K. So very excited to finally wrap up that collection when I do at sometime next year. I know it'll happen. It's just a matter of time. If they drop down to $15 again, and I have not depleted all my funds already, I'll hopefully grab them. So the MCU, that's a big one, but that was awesome. I was so happy to get all those into the physical media collection. Let's move from Marvel over to DC. So I have been waiting for the Dark Knight trilogy on 4K to go on sale for months and months and months now. And it hasn't been cheaper than $50 or $60 is where I saw it. I decided, you know what, just wait till Black Friday, see what you can find. Well, the trilogy didn't go on sale, but all three films did. And so these were all only $10 each. So I paid $30 for the trilogy. And you can actually buy the trilogy, I think today as I'm filming for $50. Is it 50 or I think it's $50 right now on 4K at Best Buy. So if you're interested, definitely check there if you're watching this around when this video came out. But either way, we have Batman Begins, we have The Dark Knight, and we have The Dark Knight Rises. Now, I know a lot of people really don't like Dark Knight Rises. I really did. I enjoyed it a lot when I saw it in theaters. Batman Begins is another one I think is just excellent. I think Batman Begins is quite underrated. I know people look at this one in a brighter light than they do the, Dark Knight Rises, but I still think it's a little bit underrated. Dark Knight, I think it's rated perfectly. People love this movie, and they should, because it is phenomenal. And so, yeah, very excited to revisit The Dark Knight Rises, because it's been since theaters, I think, since I've seen it. So, very happy to have one of my favorite trilogies ever on 4K, the Christopher Nolan Dark Knight trilogy. Very happy to add that to my physical collection. This is one that I kind of waffled on a little bit, just because I already own the Blu-ray, and I hadn't even watched it there. Why did I need the 4K? but reading reviews on the disc, it sounds like one of those discs that you have to have if you have 4K. So this is Sicario. The other reason I didn't mind upgrading this is because the director, Denis Villanueva, I believe is how you would say that, but he's the director of Prisoners, which is just a phenomenally underrated film. If you have not seen Prisoners with Hugh Jackman and another giant actor who I'm just forgetting offhand, Jake Gyllenhaal. I believe Jake Gyllenhaal and Hugh Jackman are in it. And it is just phenomenal. You need to check out Prisoners if you haven't. But same director. So I loved that movie. I definitely want to give another one of his movies a shot. So I did end up upgrading Sicario. It was like $7. So I figured why not? So Sicario on 4K, can't beat the price. And I heard it's just a great 4K disc. So very cool. This is a Martin Scorsese classic. I thought I owned the Blu-ray, so I was going to skip, but I didn't. And then again, reading reviews on the disc, it sounds phenomenal. It's one of those top tier 4K discs, so I had to grab it. It was $8. Why not? So this is Casino, with Robert De Niro, Sharon Stone, Joe Pesci. It is a Scorsese classic. I have actually only seen parts of this. I've never watched this from start to finish, so I definitely need to get on this. There's this one, Goodfellas, and then a third one that kind of makes up a trilogy of Scorsese films. They're not necessarily related in anything other than like tonally, I believe, but I really want to check those out. Mean Streets, I believe, is the third one. So I do own Goodfellas on Blu-ray. I own Casino on 4K. I do need to pick up Mean Streets. I don't think I own that one on Blu-ray yet, but yeah, definitely interested in checking out this trilogy. So the Martin Scorsese gem, Casino. This is one that I've been eyeing for quite some time, so I was really excited to find it for so cheap. I love big, dumb disaster films. My wife loves big, dumb disaster films, and obviously I love Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, so I had to check out Skyscraper. So this is one that is him basically being an action hero, so I'm all about it. He was in San Andreas, which I feel like is going to be very similar, except of course, San Andreas takes place in, California, whereas this takes place in one building, I believe. But I think maybe this is possibly like a Towering Inferno reboot or remake, if you will, maybe a reimagining. I don't know, but I think it's kind of that same idea. So very excited to dive into Skyscraper. This is one where I would normally read the book before watching the movie, but I feel like the book was only written so that they could release the sequel to the film. So I'll probably end up watching the movie before reading the book because I'm not that terribly interested in dedicating a lot of time to the sequel because I don't know if it's going to be, any good or not. But this is Stephen King's Dr. Sleep. So this, of course, is the sequel to The Shining, which is one of the greatest films ever made. The book is fantastic. I love the book. I did a whole book versus movie episode of The Shining. I actually talk about the miniseries though, not the Kubrick film. So keep that in mind, but you can find that here on the channel if you're interested. But yeah, this one I've been wanting to see. I've heard the 4K looks great. I heard the movie's not so good, but I don't know. We'll see. I tend to like things that others don't, so we'll see how Dr. Sleep goes. But yeah, great cast. Very interested to check out the sequel to The Shining, Dr. Sleep. I was shocked that this one was already on sale because it only came out like 2 weeks before it went on sale. So this was down to $10 and it is District 9. So this is the Neil Blomkamp film. I saw this in theaters and I loved it, but it has been so many years since I've seen it. I did own this one on Blu-ray, but I decided to upgrade it because I've read good things about the 4K disc. So I upgraded it to 4K because it was only $10. And this just came out like in November. And then it was like $18, I think, when it came out. So I was like, that's too high. I don't want to pay $18 for it. And then lo and behold, a couple weeks later, it's down to $10 for the Black Friday sale. So of course I ended up grabbing it. So I love this one. I still need to see Elysium. I have not seen that one yet. And then there's a third Blomkamp film, which the name of it's escaping me right now. But yeah, very excited to revisit District 9 when I get around to it. All right, down to the final two, and I'm going to show these together because it's the original and then the sequel. We have two new movies that just came out. I believe these two came out in October, and they were just more than I wanted to spend on them. I believe they were around $20 each, but then lo and behold, Black Friday, they're down to $10 each. We have, where's the first one? Sherlock Holmes and Sherlock Holmes Game of Shadows. And as you can see, I did end up getting the slip for both of these, which I really like the slip covers on these, so I was very happy to have the slips. But yes, I've never seen these. I did actually own Sherlock Holmes on Blu-ray. I found it at Big Lots sometime this year for $3, but I figured, hey, get the 4K. Why not? These have been getting really good reviews. I know everyone on YouTube has been talking about them, so I'm glad that I can finally be a part of the conversation when I actually get to these, because very intrigued to watch them. I've never seen either of these. And you know, when they came out, they didn't, I don't remember them getting a lot of love, at least in my circle. But recently, when I've been watching these reviews, everyone's been talking about how fun they are. So, you know, I'm a big Robert Downey Jr. fan. Jude Law's great. So I'm sure this is going to be a lot of fun. And, you know, Sherlock Holmes is just a fictional character that I want to watch more, I want to read more about. So this is a good way to do that, at least a good way to start doing that. So Sherlock Holmes, Game of Shadows, and the original Sherlock Holmes, two newer films that again were on sale for $10 each on Black Friday. Gotta love that. And those are the last two movies I ended up grabbing, and specifically during that Black Friday week or week and a half there. All right, and there we have it. So again, I'm going to call this part like the Black Friday pickups part. Oh my gosh, there's so many. I need to put these down. Okay, totally almost dropped some of those as I put them down. But either way, like I said, this is the Black Friday portion of my two-part November 2020 media pickups video. But in part 2, you are going to see a ton more Blu-rays and 4K movies, but you're also going to see some video games. And if you want to see what collectibles I grabbed, like I mentioned in this one, there is a separate November collectible haul, so definitely check that out if you want to see everything that I grabbed last month. But yeah, this was an awesome Black Friday. I know it only happened because of the pandemic, so it likely won't be this crazy next year, but if retailers did well, maybe we will see more of an extended Black Friday month, as opposed to just a couple days. But we'll see what 2021 brings. So let me know down in the comments below, did you guys grab any of these Black Friday deals? I know I've been seeing a ton of videos with these in them, so I'm sure you guys grabbed some. What were some of your favorites that you ended up finding on Black Friday? Be it movies, video games, books, anything really. Anything media related. What did you guys end up grabbing? Let me know down in the comments below. I love having more of a conversation with you guys down there. And as always, if you guys did enjoy this video, please consider subscribing to Cinefessions here on YouTube. And if not, well, thank you anyway for watching this video. I really do appreciate that. And like I always say, I don't just talk movies, I talk all things media, be it books, movies, video games, comic books. If it's media related, I'm interested. And if you are too, you might consider subscribing. Oh, and look at this shirt. I love this thing. I found this at Kohl's. I actually found 4 shirts at Kohl's, and this is just one of them. I love it. This Joker and kind of this style, which I'm not going to say the painter because I'm going to get it wrong, but it's beautiful. I love it. I actually had a Superman shirt like this in the past, but I grew out of it. So now I got a bigger one here, and I just love it. So I had to share that with you guys. But anyway, but that's beside the point. So that is going to do it for today, guys. I just want to say thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.